Hello friends, I hope you're all well, avoiding the virus and keeping generally fit. I propose over the next few meditation sessions that I do to work on the chakras, the 7 chakras and the 7 main chakras in the body. Each time or each session I would like to work on one. That doesn't necessarily mean, however, that the session will be exclusively on the chakra. It may deviate a little bit depending on what happens to be going on that day, as you'll find as you practice meditation that sometimes it's like that. You start out with the intention of working on one particular method, but you find out actually that your body wants you to practice a different way. And in which case, if that's the case, follow your body and practice the way that your body wants you to at the time. I would like you also to keep in mind that you do not need to be seated to practice meditation. You can get up and walk around and practice meditation. You do not have to be seated. You do not have to sit on the floor. You can sit on a chair if you do want to be seated on a chair. But if you are going to be seated on the chair, I would like you to be seated towards the edge of the chair rather than having your back leaning against the back of the chair. And if you want to, you could take a towel or a blanket like this and simply roll it up and put it behind your back so you have some support at the lower part of the back. Anytime you need to use a prop during meditation or during a yoga asana practice, please use a prop. If you are going to be seated on the floor, I would like you to sit on something apart from the floor. Either sit on a block, like this, sit on a book, a thick book, comfortable sized book, or if you have a pillow, a firm pillow that you would like to use, please use that. Personally, I like the block because the block doesn't really reduce in size. Pillows, after a while, do get a little squashy, and then you find that you have to replace the stuffing or get a new pillow. So I like a block. Block is a good standard size, and in most studios you can find a block of a similar size. So, to begin with, just extend your legs out if you're going to be seated on the floor. Shake them out. Put whatever it is that you're planning on sitting on underneath your bottom. Cross the legs into a comfortable position. If you are going to have the legs close to you, on the leg that's going to be closest in towards the groin, take your thumb and just push the muscle of the calf out of the way when you draw the leg in. And then the other leg, do the same with that. If you're going to sit in the sukhasana position, the cross-legged position, please feel free to do that. If you want to sit in padmasana, the lotus pose, please do that. But be careful, extremely careful of the knees. Remember, if your hips are really tight, then sitting in the lotus pose is probably not going to work for you very well for very long. And if you are sitting in it a long time, be careful that you do not torque your knees. Personally, I like this position. I find it comfortable for me to sit in. Just because I'm sitting in this position, it doesn't mean that you necessarily need to do that or should do that. Like I said, the main thing is to be comfortable. If you're seated, make sure your spine is comfortably straight and not rounded at the bottom. Make sure that you can comfortably lift the shoulders up, the chest up. If you have a blanket and you want to use the blanket during the practice to put it around your shoulders, I like to sit that way. I find that after a while, especially if you have a longer meditation, that you start to cool down. And sometimes it's just nice to have the blanket around you. So I encourage you to do that. In fact, when we start, I will be using a blanket. As you prepare yourself, please let the hips, thighs, and buttocks become heavy. It's as if your hips are sinking a little bit into the ground, as if you were sitting in sand and your body is just settling into the sand a little bit. So you have a nice firm foundation. Allow the spine to lengthen upwards. Allow the shoulders to come up and roll down. So if you're just rolling them over. Turn the arms out. Have the elbows in close to the sides. If the elbows are out like that, if the arms are straight, what you'll find is that if you have a longer meditation, it's going to start to draw on your arms. So have the arms in a little bit towards you. You can have the hands up if you like, perhaps doing a mudra with one hand or both hands, or not at all. Or you could have your hands on your knees if you like. Or you could put the hands in front of you in the traditional zazen position, which they use in Zen meditation. Lengthen your spine. Lift the clavicles. Drop the spinous scapula, the top part of the shoulders. Roll the shoulders over. Tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is lengthening. Allow your face to become soft. Allow the skin at the crown of the head to feel like it's separating slightly. And to begin with, simply follow your breath. In terms of your eyes, you may have your eyes open or closed, depending on what you prefer. In the long run, it's better to have your eyes slightly open, just so that you can see the ground in front of you. But if for the time being that does not feel comfortable to you, please do not worry about it. And after you've been practicing for a while in a particular session, do change the position of your feet. So your legs are not always in the same position. You want to get the legs, both legs, used to being in the position. I like to practice without my glasses on because I find it provides pressure to the bridge of my nose. So I'm going to take my glasses off. Begin by following the breath in and down, and then up and out. Let the shoulders relax. Let the face remain soft. Relax the face. Relax the arms. Don't try and draw your breath all the way down. If the breath goes all the way down, that's fine. Let it go down only as far as it wants to. Never force the breath. Then allow the breath to come up and go out through the nose. In through the nose, down, up, out through the nose. However, if you can't breathe through your nose, please don't force it. Breathe through the mouth if that works for you a lot better over the short term. Long term, you want to work on drawing in the breath through the nose. Now, as you draw the breath in and down, I would like you to become aware of the first chakra. The first chakra is the Muladhara chakra, which is just about an inch or so above the perineum, near the coccyx, between the coccyx and the front of the hips. So it's rather in the center of the hips. If you want to, you can squeeze the perineum a little bit, just to get a sense of where it is. But I don't want you to spend the time focusing on the perineum. The perineum is just an indicator of around the area that the Muladhara chakra is. But what I want you to work on, or be mindful of rather than working on, is the area about 1.5 inches above that. Please don't be concerned if you don't feel anything there right now. The Muladhara chakra is a major energy center. It is the root support chakra for the sacral chakra system. So it is one of the most important chakras to work on. So we will begin working with the first chakra. So again, become mindful of your breath. Inhale down. Just take the breath down as far as it will reasonably go. Move your awareness to the area above the perineum, in the center of the hips. If you squeeze the buttocks and the groin a little bit, that will give you some idea of the area that I am talking about. Just let your awareness rest in that area while you breathe in and out. Breathing down towards the Muladhara chakra, exhaling up and out. Don't try and time your breath with mine. Allow your body to breathe as it wants to. I am now going to use a blanket. This should not be stressful. You should feel comfortable. If you feel stressed or tight, the practice is going to be harder for you. And remember too, that it takes the mind 5, sometimes 10 minutes to quieten down. So allow yourself to quieten down. Allow the brain, the mind, to just relax. Be aware of any pulsations that you find in that area. Don't hold on to them, simply be aware of them. If it is comfortable for you to do so, please breathe from the tummy. But again, don't force that. One of the reasons why you want to sit on a block is that it allows the breathing to be easier. If your legs and hips feel really tight, it's going to be hard for you to get a nice, subtle breath. Once you have settled into the area of the Muladhara chakra, I would like you to work softly on having your breath seemingly come from the area of the Muladhara chakra. So it's as if you are breathing through the Muladhara chakra. Even though you're actually breathing down from the nostrils and up out through the nostrils. Please remember too that as the energy moves along the spine, you may find that your spine wants to move. You may find the urge to move the spine back and forth a little bit, turn a little bit, one way or the other. If you find that, please do it. Please follow the energy. Don't restrict it. If you find that the chakra, the Muladhara chakra, becomes associated with a particular color, that is perfectly fine. But if you find that it doesn't, that is also perfectly fine. One way is not more superior than another way. The main thing is having your awareness lightly rest in the area of the Muladhara chakra, about an inch or an inch and a half above the perineum. Please relax any muscles that seem to tighten. Relax the roof of the mouth, especially the soft palate, and keep your tongue soft. Remember, if the tongue is tight, then your body will be tense. So please try and keep your tongue reasonably relaxed. And now, if you haven't, please shift the position of your legs if you're seated on the floor. Remember, you may want to move some of the calf muscle out from behind the knee. And when you are ready, please just open your eyes or lift your head up with your eyes open. As you practice, please keep in mind that your mind is like a toddler. Your mind is not used or may not be used to stillness. And so it takes a while for the mind to settle down. Give yourself time. Allow your mind to run around. It's rather like trying to train a puppy to sit. You don't expect the puppy to sit on the first go. You have to take the time to allow it to learn. Your mind and my mind and most people's minds has had very little discipline. So your mind generally has been able to run rampant and do whatever it wants when it wants to. So now you're trying to teach it to sit. You're trying to encourage it to stay relaxedly focused. And it will take a while to do that. But the more you practice, the better it'll become. It will take a little while. Things do like that. Or you may be one of those people who it hits right off the bat. And if that's the case, that is great. But most people are not like that. So allow yourself the time to develop. And give your body a break. If you would, set a time every day when you can practice. There will be days when you will miss them. And if you miss it, that doesn't matter. Just the next day, start up again. Or make up the time some other time. But don't overdo the amount of time. Don't say, oh, I'm going to sit for half an hour or 40 minutes when you're just beginning. Because that may become problematic. It may turn you off. Try doing it for 10 minutes or for 15 minutes. Or if you don't have a lot of time, just sit for 5 minutes. But the thing is to sit at a regular time for a regular amount of time. Once you've decided to sit, stay there, even if your mind is wandering, even if you're not actually meditating, but do just sit there until the time is actually up. I hope that this is of some help. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, and I will address it as best I can, or I will ask my teacher. So I wish you all well, and I hope that the remainder of the week and the remainder of the day are well for you. All the best.